Welcome back to Extraordinary Women. I'm Shannon Skinner, the host, and I am joined by Francine Hailman, who's a jazz singer. And later in the segment, before we take a break, I'll have my regular Good to Know Minute when I ask my guests for their top tip on creating a successful life. You're going to hear Francine's tip. Francine Hailman is a jazz singer, songwriter who recently launched her debut album. She's based in Toronto. Francine, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shannon. It's wonderful to be here.
Oh,
I'm so
great.
happy that you invited me to be a part of your show today.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. Now, you've described yourself as a late bloomer. Why?
Basically, I reinvented myself midlife after my twins were born. When they were about 2 or 3, I decided to start writing poetry, and that actually snowballed into lyrics and writing, composing music. I reinvented myself because I was a stay-at-home mom. I had 4 children at home, and I decided that it was time to move on, and that's what I did.
So, how did your love for jazz music begin? I mean, it's something that you've loved for a very, very long time. Where did it start?
It started from the time I was a child. I listened to the greats. I listened to Ella and Diana.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald, and there's just so many that I've listened to over the years, and my inspiration from writing actually comes from listening to the birds chirp. I could hear the leaves, even the leaves are moving. My husband might actually write me some love notes, and you know, that just inspires me to write a little song. And so your love for music really began, and I know that in reading your biography, you talk a lot about your mom. I do.
And your love and beginning of learning how to play the piano. She was so instrumental in that.
Mom was very instrumental. We didn't have a couch. There were 4 children. I was the oldest of 4, and she made sure that we took piano lessons, and we studied privately. Dad was a pharmacist, so we were on one salary, and it was a wonderful experience. Mom used to sit with us every day after school. Although she didn't have any musical background, just her love of music. And she would encourage us to, play the scales, play all of our classical pieces, and she would say, "Okay, I know when you've made a mistake," and that's when we would stop, and we would correct it.
Now, you also were influenced by Janis Joplin. I noticed one great singer who was somebody who inspired you. What was it about her music? Because that's one of all the people that have inspired you. Certainly in your biography, that one really stood out. And I thought, Janis Joplin. Now this is really interesting. I need to know, what is it about Janis Joplin that inspired you?
It was her style. She was just such a free spirit, and when you would watch her perform, you would be just totally mesmerized by how she came across and how her lyrics were sold to the public. It was just very inspiring. I loved watching her on TV, and I loved listening to her, the sound of her voice. It was so raspy. Very raspy.
And there was a wildness to her as well. Just her spirit. It came across.
She was a free spirit,
right.
And I'm really a free spirit. In Yiddish, my name means bird, which actually means freedom, and I have truly lived up to that name.
Oh, is that right?
Absolutely.
Are you taking flight soon?
Oh, I've been taking flight for a long time.
Now, you've just launched your debut album, Love Is Here. This is your...
Yes, love is here.
So you just did it this last week. Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I did.
And what a great topic, considering yesterday was Valentine's Day. So.
Well, that was no coincidence. We decided that this was the perfect time to release the album. And because love is just a wonderful topic, and not enough people really talk about it. And
why is love such a great topic? I mean, why do so many singers and poets write about it and sing about love?
Because people want to hear about it. People want to feel that deep in their soul. They want to understand and go along with the ride of being in love. It's just something that is really a special thing. And because people don't talk about it, they'll listen to it. They'll sing along with the music, and create an atmosphere, hopefully within themselves or in their home, so that they can bring love into their lives. And that's one of the things I hope to do with my album. I hope to inspire other people by listening to the music and, putting out some chocolates or having a romantic meal and just, kicking back, having a glass of wine and listening to the music and creating a romantic evening for themselves.
Do you think that there are some people out there aren't really feeling love or loved, and so they reach out through music? Touches them?
I absolutely believe that, and I think that's why we write. That's why we create. It's something that we, from our souls, can share to the universe and allow people to just become engrossed with the music,
Now, you're a stay-at-home mom for many years, as you mentioned, and you managed to squeak in some singing lessons somewhere along the way. You got a voice coach?
I don't have a voice coach at the moment, but for economic reasons, I really wanted to take vocal lessons. And I scouted around and tried to find somebody that was in the jazz genre. And I approached Louise Lambert. I actually phoned her up one day and I said, I'm looking for a vocal coach, and would you be interested in exchanging some cooking? And she said, I need a cook. And that's how it all began with my vocal lessons. I exchanged vegetarian meals for her, and she was just thrilled. As a matter of fact, Louise just moved to Hawaii, and she said, Francine, I so miss your cooking. And that was really nice. It was really nice coming from her.
So it was a creative way to get something you needed to develop your skills when you didn't actually have the resources at the time. So
that's exactly what I did.
Very creative.
Thank you.
Now, of course, we're here to talk about your album. How did the album actually come to be? I mean, not that many people out there in the world have the opportunity to launch an album on their own. So you've done something that there are many, 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 many people have dreamt of doing. How did you do it?
Well, I started writing lyrics, as I said, in the well, I didn't tell you exactly when, but it was in the 90s, late 90s, and first it began with poetry, and that snowballed into the lyrics. I wanted, in the back of my mind, I thought, if I'm going to write lyrics, at some point I will do an album, because it's just something that's festering there. And I stayed at home because my family was really important. I decided to become and move forward with the album after being very, very sick. And I had a second chance at life. I was diagnosed with bowel disease and came through it. I got out of the box and I said to myself, well, are you going to stay at home for the rest of your life, or are you going to get out there and actually do something? And the way it actually happened was I went out mid-November of 2008, and I was at a club, and there was a great guitarist there. And after the performance, I approached him and I said, I'm interested in doing an album. Can I contact you? And he said, absolutely. And that was Tony Porrington. So we met. I then did just a 3-song demo of some of my originals, just to get some experience working in the studio and to see, basically what is it like to do an album, and then after that, the creation of my album began.
That's a remarkable story.
Yeah, and we sat down. We had several meetings discussing what songs we would put on the album. I originally wanted to do an all-original album. But Tony said, no, we have to have a mixture. We have to have at least half originals and half standards. And so be it. I was a good student. I said to him, okay, we'll do it your way. And we had a master list of tunes that I suggested, both my originals, and he looked at a lot of my originals and also the standards, and maybe there was 60 or 80 songs, and then we narrowed it down to 40, and then to 30, and then to 20, and then we arrived with the 16-song album with 8 of my originals and 8 standards.
Now, Francine, we're about to take a break, which means that I have my Good to Know Minute, and I know that you've got a great tip on living a successful life, and I would like you to share it.
Okay, I would say that to have a successful life, you need to be strong, confident, healthy, and you have to believe in yourself. You must do what you love most, and taking steps methodically will allow your results to fall into place. Make your wish list, do a storyboard, and plan, network. That's really, really important. And challenge yourself to accomplish your vision and really be passionate about whatever you do.
Well, thank you very much. We'll take a break and more when we come back with Francine Hailman. Welcome back to Extraordinary Women. I'm Shannon Skinner, and I'm here speaking with Francine Hailman. Now, that was your lovely music we heard during the break.
Thank you.
What a gorgeous voice you have.
Thank you so much.
If there was somebody out there you could describe your voice or your style, like, who would it be? A famous jazz singer?
I take pride in thinking that I don't really sound exactly like anyone else. Maybe a little bit like Peggy Lee, but I have made it very clear that I do not want to parrot anybody else. I don't want to sound like anybody else. I want to have my own unique sound, and that's what I've strived for when I do sing.
Now, why, or how do you hope that your music will make a difference in others' lives?
I want people to just to feel happy, to understand that you can move forward and you can accomplish what you want in your life if you choose to. That's what my song In the Now is all about. Being in the moment, allowing yourself to take steps to develop whatever it is that you want in your life, and do it now. Don't wait till tomorrow.
What are your songs about a woman's heart? This is one that has a lot of meaning to you. Maybe perhaps you can read a little bit of the lyrics.
Yeah, I will do that. So the song goes like this. A woman's heart is like 1,000 violin strings. Play them right, and then it sings. A woman's heart is like 1,000 violin strings. Play them bright, the heart'll do anything. Just soften up a woman with romance and calls. Whisper sweet words with your gentle drawl. Give her some time to warm up to your kisses. Maybe she'll think about sharing your wishes. And that's how.
So this is about
goes.
teaching men about love?
Yes, it's a message about sharing a woman's love, and that it really can be won by just simple considerations, listening, and tuning into a person's feelings and their emotions. It'll just allow the romance to soar. That's my belief.
Well, thank you for sharing your beautiful voice with us.
Thank you.
Now, where do your ideas come from your lyrics?
Well, like I said, sometimes it comes from my husband, give me a kiss on the cheek, or give me a hug. My children are very, very special to me. I have twin daughters, and they have for many, many years, as soon as they could start writing me cards, they have been providing me with beautiful love notes and cards, and that just makes my heart sing. And sometimes I'll just get the notion to write a song, after receiving something from them. Also, I observe people. I listen to conversations. I might even get an inspiration from watching a movie, and then what I'll do is, if I don't have my tape recorder near, and I'm at home or out, I'll get to a phone and I'll call it into my answering machine.
So you call in your ideas, your answering machine.
I call in my ideas. I call in the lyrics and the music that comes from the universe, from God. I'm very thankful.
And so you fill it up, I'm assuming, your answering machine then.
Oh, there's at least 22.
Filled?
I just did put on a couple of songs this last weekend. So there's a number, at least over 20, that I still have to develop.
Now, Francine, where can people buy your album?
They can go to my website at www.francinehailman.com, and I really do hope that you will buy my album. I am giving a portion to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of Canada. I was diagnosed with colitis recently, and I decided that would be a very positive thing. Colitis is not very well known. It's not talked about. People, it's almost as common as HIV and diabetes, but it's not talked about. So
a portion of the sales go to charity.
That's right, exactly.
Now, when are you performing next?
I'm performing this Thursday at Ferrero 502 North, which is located at 1118 Center Street. That's between Bathurst and Dufferin, and I'm there every other Thursday until the end of March. And I've got a great trio, including myself, Tom Sklubik's on sax, flute, and clarinet, and Danny Mackerlane, who's a wonderful pianist, and he'll be accompanying me.
Well, thank you so much, Francine. We're almost out of time, and I've enjoyed hearing your lovely voice and your story, and thank you so much for sharing your story.
Well, thank you.
I wish you all the best with the album and with your performing. And again, so if people want to find out more information about you, they go to francinehailman.com.
And if anybody is looking for a singer, a performer, please contact me through my website. I'm also interested in performing at festivals, and I would like to do travel and perform my music.
Well, thanks again. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.